folks, we're looking today at our equation explainer for charge. Now this is one of the equations that you'll need to know from the electricity topic. It's one of our electrical quantities. As we'll see, the symbols are a little bit confusing, a little bit annoying, I find. And so this is definitely an equation I've noticed students struggling with. However, the maths of it are fairly simple, and if we can find a way of kind of getting over the symbols, we should be all right. Now, as ever, if you want more of these videos, please let me know. And if you'd just like to catch them as they come out, just simply subscribe to the channel and you'll get a notification. However, we're really here for the physics, so let's get started. We're going to look at our equation for charge. Now, charge, as we've said, has some slightly odd letters involved. We would talk about charge Q. Okay, charge Q, which has the units of C, that's a coulomb, is the product of current I and time t. So you can see the problem here is that charge doesn't begin with a Q and current doesn't begin with an I. Okay, now unfortunately these are the conventions that we use in physics, okay, and we're going to have to get used to them. So for now, charge is Q. There's no C for charge, even though the units are expressed in that way. And current as well is not a C either. Okay, so we've kind of gone, well, we've got two quantities here beginning with C, and we're going to call neither of them C. We're going to look at Q, I, and T. Okay, so I'm afraid that's the way of it. And as I say, I think this is why students have trouble with this equation. Not that it's hard, but simply that the letters are difficult to remember. If we're constructing our triangle, we're going to put Q on the top because Q is the product of I and T, which are going to go on the bottom. Now remember, as ever, you can put them in any different order. However, the general form is Q on the top, I on the left, and T on the bottom there. If you remembered it the other way around, it doesn't matter as long as Q's on the top. Again, we're going to write down our equation in three forms. And the simplest way is that original form, Q equal to IT. And if you're struggling to remember these equations and you find them hard, this is the one I would remember. Because, as we've seen in other videos and we'll see in this one, really it's the easiest one to work with, and it's the easiest one, hopefully, to remember. However, you might be interested in other forms. So we've got I equal to Q over T, so that's our ratio, and then T equal to Q over I. And it's very rare, as we often find, that we'll have to do this bit of rearrangement. However, it's something that you could be asked to do, and so therefore you should be ready to do that. Now, I had a struggle for thinking of a mnemonic for this one because I find the letters are really confusing, and I think generally it's quite a hard one to do. So I've come up with one. You let me know if you think it's any good. Okay, here, this is my mnemonic. I've gone for charge increases with time. Okay, now I know that first word doesn't begin with a Q. It took me a long time to think of something which would begin with a Q, and I got to the point where I was stressing a bit too much about it. So I've instead gone with the word charge. Okay, our charge, okay, increases with time. So hopefully the I and the T are fairly self-explanatory here. I and T. Charge here we're replacing with a Q. Okay, now if you really did struggle with this, you could write this out in words. Okay, charge equals current times time. If you found that quite hard to remember the Q's, the I's, and the T's. However, we're wanting to remember the fact that the I and the T are the two things multiplying together to make Q. All right, if you're taking any notes on this, if you're making a flashcard, if you're doing whatever, please do pause the video now, take down what you need to take, and we're going to go on to a question which again comes from a past paper, and we're going to look at how we use this equation. All right, here we are. We've got a fixed resistor with a current of 3.4 amps running through it, and we're asked to calculate the charge passing through that resistor during 25 seconds. We're asked to state the unit of charge in your answer. Now again, we're going to look at the number of marks here. It's a 3 marker. You may be wondering why. Well, in this case, remember in previous questions we've had the units provided for us. In this case, we're stating the unit, so you're going to get 2 marks here for doing the calculation, getting a number, and another one simply for knowing the units of charge. Okay, now we've noticed that C is that one that C is that letter we've been reluctant to use so far. Well, in this case, we can use the C at the end there. That's going to be the C for coulombs, the units of charge. Even if you didn't know what to do here, you could write the letter C in that bottom right hand corner after the unit, and you'd still get a mark. So it's quite a nice thing to do here. Okay, if you're not sure, have a go at some aspect of the question. Now, in our question, we're asked to know the charge Q. We know I, which is the current, 3.4, and we know the time, 25 seconds, that's T. So we're going to use our form Q equal to IT. And you notice the variables are in the same order as in the equation here. Q equal to IT. Okay, and all I'm going to do is do a little bit of work there. 3.4 times 25, I'm going to use my calculator. I've got 85 there. I'm going to stick 85 into the value, and I'm going to remember to fill in the C. All right, there's a couple of reasons I've chosen this question. The main reason being often students forget about the C. They forget to put the units in, okay? So it's really a good chance for you guys to do this. Now, if you didn't know that the symbol was C, you could write Coulomb as well, all right? And I've seen it spelt badly and still get the marks as well. So there's still a lot of ways you can get marks in these questions. So obviously, I think with a question like this, once we've picked it apart and notice it's just a case of multiplying numbers together, okay, you can always get marks on these things, all right? If you're unsure, have a go. There's only really a few different ways of combining these two numbers, 3.4 and 25. Have a go at something, see if you can get some mark. You might get lucky, or just writing it out might remind you how to do it. Either way, we're going to get some marks and we're going to really beef up our scores. Okay, folks, I'm going to stop there. As ever, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel, if there's anything you would like, videos you'd like added. And as always, best of luck with your preparation for your physics exams.